Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena, where you join us for the beginning of the second half of the PEC Conference, Week 10, Boise State versus Nebraska, as we go on for some Overwatch gameplay. My name is Bryce Jensen, your host for tonight, joined by my co-host, Zach Munson, and what is supposed to be what is going to be an interesting game for sure. Boise State is coming back from from a month-long break over Christmas break. I mean, it's probably not really a break for these guys. They're probably playing a lot of Overwatch in the meantime. I know I sure was. But it'll be interesting to see how they've grown. Boise State only dropped 2 games in the last semester, and notably, both of those were in absence of their main DPS clear. And he proved to be quite the cornerstone of the team and led them to victory over the rest of the games.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Clear's an amazing player. Everyone on the team, of course, is great. You know, of course.
Yeah, you're on the team.
Yeah, they're all great players, but of course, like, just having someone out, it just changes the game plan, you know, and that can make things difficult, especially when you're playing against some tougher teams like Kansas and Syracuse, which were the 2 losses.
Yeah, and something to point out in the standings is that Boise State currently ranked number 3 with a 7-2 record.
5-2.
Yeah, 5-2 record.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, I got there in the end. But notably, they've lost to Syracuse and Kansas. Syracuse sitting at the number 1 spot. Kansas sitting at the number 4 spot. The number 2 is currently Ohio State, who are at the number 2 spot, ranking above Boise State, but still lost to them. We almost have like a rock, paper, scissors thing going on with this top 3.
Well, because Ohio State then themselves lost 3-1 to Syracuse. So, yeah, it's like an interesting kind of like rock, paper, scissors match. Like you said, just kind of at the top of who's really going to show up. But I think, like you said, now that, I mean, things are a bit more stable, of course, you don't have one of your players just traveling to all these crazy competitions to show off his insane skill, you know. Now that things are a bit more stable, you'll get to see like a full look, and I'm interested especially in that rematch. But of course, we got the game in front of us right now.
Yeah, that's the most important thing here. We got Nebraska coming up to show their stuff to Boise State. Nebraska kind of had a rough start during the last season of the PEC. They do not have any wins in their name, currently sitting at 0-7, and no map wins either. They're fishing for their first win of the season. And if there's any time to get that done, it is when the teams are rusty. They're still, or not really rusty, when the teams are a little bit off of the competitive streak, still getting back into it. And if there's any time to show the stuff you've learned, it is right now. Nebraska really looking to show exactly what they've been working on over this offseason.
Absolutely. I mean, of course, they would love to win the game, but as you mentioned, since they haven't even gotten a map so far yet in the PEC, I mean, that would be a great goal, and it's something that they're certainly working towards, and it would show signs of improvement in the right direction, especially because, I mean, this Boise State team is it's not soft, you know, like that would, even winning a map would be pretty good.
Yeah, so, taking a map off of this team is a very tall order, and it's something that every team really has to work for. Even in the games that they lost last semester, it was in very tight 5-map series, or actually, yes, all of them were 5 maps, and it's really interesting it'll be interesting to see how Nebraska handles this. But looking back, we actually do have a few videos about the game that happened the last time they met, which was in Week 9, which weirdly enough was last week, or last week in the tournament timeline, not exactly literally last week. But there were some really interesting plays, and I'd like to point out a specific stat that I found really interesting. According to League OS, Daydream, Jenny, our resident support main, was playing DPS for one time. 1.1 million damage. How she's going to top that, I'm not sure, but really just putting on a clinic, really showing us how good support mains can really be.
Yeah, I mean, if that happens again, I don't know. I don't know if anyone can win when Jenny's playing at that level. 1.1 million damage is a lot, but jokes aside, of course, something in esports that it's a lot different than a lot of other things just typically like in other sports is that, I mean, basketball doesn't really change, you know. It's not completely different every year you play, but I mean, the meta changes in Overwatch. There's patches, there's new characters being introduced, and so, you know, things might be a little different. You got to kind of feel it out a little bit.
Yeah, and especially with the meta changing so recently as well. We just got the turn of the new season. We just got the balance patches in that we are currently playing on. Zarya, unfortunately for me, is still meta. I'm not super happy about that. But, you know, I know a lot of people who like Zarya, so I can't really complain all too much. Yeah, about every tank player because, okay, Zarya is really fun to play as, but horrible to play into. And especially
Yeah,
now that Bastion is a lot better now. I think Maxwell's going to be a little happy because we see him break out the Bastion every now and again, and he seems to like playing that character a lot.
Something that I don't think this specific Boise State team gets enough credit for necessarily is, I mean, the players, they have the ability to be super versatile in the kind of looks that they bring and kind of what style they want to play, even though they typically kind of go towards the same thing. Everybody knows the wrecking ball. But, I mean, I think for the most part, like, no one's like a one-trick pony on their team when it comes to a certain character. Everyone has a decent bag.
Yeah, everybody's got their bag. It's overflowing to the brim, and they're very eager to show it tonight. And let's actually take a look at the Week 9 of Boise State University versus Nebraska to get a little bit of a refresh on how this rivalry has sort of panned out so far and maybe get a glimpse as to how it's going to go tonight.
I want to know, what are your keys to the game coming into this? What do you think is going to help Boise get over the edge and continue to look good, you know, finish in that top end of the standings to give themselves at least a good footing going into next spring?
You know, I can give you a serious answer and I can give you a funny answer, but
I want the funny one
I'm going to go with the funny one, and that's going to be ball is life. I love the wrecking ball. I like to see it represented a little bit more, and honestly, ball is love, ball is life, and they're really showing it. Seen this point already get up to 50%. The Juno's getting dove on. Ashley David is almost dead. Luckily, the Brig comes back to save him, but it may not be enough as Maxwell takes two. Strider finding the next, and bye-bye, Diva. Clear is going to finish things out. 64% and ticking.
Strider now going to be on the back foot. He looks to kill DPS as Maxwell's going to get an easy pick. On pick number 2, Maxwell and Clear have been popping off this game.
With the charge
to the wall.
Here comes the Battle Mercy. It's going to find Cassidy. It is rare that you find anything out of a Battle Mercy, but the fact you find a Cassidy is even worse. Ashley David goes down as well. Same with you.
We've gotten to the point where you can pull out the Battle Mercy, you can pull out everything you want and more. They're walking with confidence.
Oh yeah, they have absolutely no stagger in their step. They are moving forward with confidence. Somber tries to dive in, but Clear on the Farah. Doesn't need a Mercy in order to get this much value, but the barrage onto David, and it's going to find Jaxel too, jumping right into it. Oh man, call this guy Violet, because he is jumping into ultimates left and right.
Here comes Strider now on the counter offensive, able to get Ashley, able to get Jaxel. Clears over on the top. A lot of pressure has been coming out of Clear and not much counter offensive, but finally they try and grab him, but Swimmer Dude will still fall like the rest of them.
Swimming with the fishes, Swimmer Dude is now out of the match as they in Nebraska will be fighting an upfield battle until he returns. Can they hold on? Cool as Iomi tries to death blossom, and he's going to find absolutely nada. The Christmas presents are empty. The cornucopia has been eaten out of as Strider finds you and a soon to find David. Nebraska forced to back off with 2 minutes burned off the clock. Clear does get taken down low. Strider is going to get hacked, but it does not matter. Jaxel and Kuliziomi both going down, and Swimmer Dude once again finding himself drowning in his own tears because he cannot get into the back line.
I feel it right now. Still looking for the proper angle. A lot of members crowding up into the corridor, and Jaxel School is able to grab one on top of it. The counter offensive finding some decent success from Nebraska, but Boise will not let that go unanswered as Maxwell and Strider back-to-back kills. Now the payload going to be contested, still staying in the air. Is going to be Clear. He already did burn his ultimate. Maxwell will take down 1. Maxwell will take down 2 as they push Nebraska off the payload.
Primal Rage forced to get popped. Clear going to go down to Swimmer Dude's melee, but Swimmer Dude taken down so low he isn't able to recontest as Yu goes down in the fight. And here is back Swimmer Dude, but he's off the map! He's got back on! He's back! Ashley David gets dove on. Clear trying to make his way in. Out comes Kuliziomi, but he is annihilated. Jaxel is back, but the barrage gets him. Clear with the triple to end things out in overtime. Boise State it's their turn to attack now. Very quiet until this really starts. Strider already rolling out, but you still just sitting there. What will he do? Wait a second. There he goes. He's on Daydream, and it works. The trap has been laid, but the point is completely abandoned, and Strider is going to get him ticked. We're continuing with the ball is love, ball is life. I mean, just look at Zenyatta's projectiles, the orbs. Ball is love. As the Daydream continues to try and poke out Cool as Aomi, not going to quite find it, as Lyric is challenging the Diva on the Bastion. Definitely a choice, as Clear's going to take out Swimmer Dude early. Not something you see out of a Cassidy very often. Kuliziomi falling to Lyric with a little bit of help from Daydream, as you gets demech'd, and I believe that this will be point, as there is no one to really touch, especially with a Kitsune Rush Bastion hunkering down on the point, and that will be game for Boise State. Very entertaining game. Clear blocking off Zarya, but Kuliziomi actually getting the Doomfist punch. Not going to go down to it, but also not taking Strider down either. But Strider's going to kill the Reaper. Man, you don't see a Doomfist taking Reaper down very often as Meteor Strike comes through. It's going to wall off Swimmer Dude again. He's not going to be found, but Yu is taking too much damage, and Swimmer Dude, once again, swimming with the fishes.
Nebraska are looking to put the pressure back in to make sure they don't get flanked on.
Oh,
that's exactly what's happening on a Strider.
Yeah, Daydream does go down, and Yu's actually going to take down a second in Lyric. The orbital ray comes through from Ashley, and it's going to be enough, but the Blizzard's going to find three. Strider goes down, Maxwell 2, but Clear finding 3. Can he get Kuliomi? Clear! In the trap, he's getting Ashley David. Clear is going to go down in the end, but taking down 4. Has to use the Iceberg, giving him a little bit of space, but all that focus on Clear means that Yu goes down by himself. Ashley David going down to Strider. Both supports are gone as the Riptire finds itself in spawn. Kuliziomi quick to fall as well. We know who the best DPS in the lobby is. It's Daydream. Strider's going to fall to Swimmer Dude as Jaxel continues to go under fire from May, and she's going to die to the Iceberg. Need to make sure that they can get all the way there. About 20 seconds left on the clock, and a Doomfist right at their spawn. A Maxwell Pulse Bomb goes through. A Blizzard as well. Clear might go down to Ashley David, but they need to go through it in order to get through. Clear does get resurrected, but it will not really matter in the grand scheme of things as we hit 5 seconds remaining. Swimmer Dude finds Lyric. Moira still going forward, and they get it. Nebraska gets the touch. Clear with 2. Daydream with another. Yu has to use Gravitic Surge. Finds Daydream, but it is just him and Cool on the point. Out comes the Death Blossom. It finds nothing. Clear is on a roll. It is just Yu left. Yu is dead, though.
Gaining their confidence back. That's one of the big things that we've been wanting from this team. That's kind of been having their ups and downs. More ups now that we are able to have a nice positive finish to the fall season. And this is going to lead them into spring with, I'm pretty sure, a new aura of confidence.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Boise State going to be locking themselves in with that 6-2 record to end it off the first half of the season, already solidifying themselves in the top half of the series. Well, that was the last game against Utah, against Nebraska. And as you can see, Boise State was having a grand old time during that game. We got to see a lot of different characters come out of them that we don't normally get to see. I mean, Strider on Doomfist was a treat. I mean, anybody on Doomfist is always a treat, but him especially playing that character. It's something you'd think he'd play a little more with the ball coming up.
In the May, I mean,
yeah.
Doc's beloved.
Yeah, Doc's beloved May that got pushed onto Clear. I mean, you could still tell that he wanted to play like Tracer. Just get behind him on May, two-tap him. But that's a little bit of a preview for what's going to happen tonight. I also kind of want to bring up what's going to happen tomorrow, or not tomorrow, next week, with the University of Utah when Boise State plays them for Week 10. We actually had this one pop up a little bit earlier than the rest of the games, so Boise State is actually playing a week that the rest of the teams in the conference aren't, but next week will be the whole PEC season really starting to go, and we're starting that off with the University of Utah. One of the few teams who's able to take a map off of Boise State.
Absolutely. I mean, they've got really good players too, especially PDK. Shout out to him, like, as a hit scan player, like, always I notice when I watch the games when I play just other players that I like something about him, and PDK is one of the best hit scans in the PEC for sure, and he caused a lot of problems for Boise State last time they played.
Yeah, PDK was definitely something to watch, especially the Cassidy gameplay that we saw a ton out of him. In fact, it almost seemed like he was the one that was sort of in control, where Boise State runs a lot of their strategies around Strider and his unorthodox tank picks. I mean, they're fun tank picks, but they're very unorthodox, and where it kind of revolves around him. It all felt like trying to give PDK the gas pedal, really let him run around, do what he needed to do to get things done. And he was able to do that for a map, which a lot of teams can't say about this Boise State roster. However, they weren't quite able to get there in the end. I actually made a prediction in the preseason of the PEC last time that Boise State wouldn't lose any maps to Utah. And PDK put a very swift end to that one. I had to tell one of the Utah casters that I ate my words. So maybe my prediction for a Boise State sweep will actually come to fruition this time.
You gonna make any more gambles with them this time?
I mean, I'm a gambling man, but I know when to quit. And unfortunately, it's not now because Boise State is back to full power, and Utah is going to have to contend with that.
I like what you mentioned. I mean, especially about just putting PDK like in the position to kind of set up and facilitate and just kind of take over. Because when a team plays like that, it's kind of scary. You don't really want to play against that as much because, like, yeah, if that person is just on a heater that day, it can be difficult. And a lot of the time, especially if it's like a hit scan, it's like a character like Cassidy, like, it can be too much. There's not a lot of game planning you can do against it. You can certainly try and focus them down, but if they're clicking heads, they're clicking heads.
Yeah, and then you also got to bring into account Teddy Apaya as well, being that secondary character who is always able to really get some stuff done. He was able to run in there, distract people for just long enough to be a problem, and then get out of there scot-free. And we saw that the entire night. Even in the games they lost, those two were really the backbone of the core. And then obviously, you got to give it to Ray and Sonic to be able to support No Sam on the front. I mean, we're back to Zarya meta. It feels like we've been with the Zarya for a while now. Please, just Reinhardt meta. Just give him his major perk back. Give him the health on shield. Please, Blizzard. Please. Okay, that's enough rambling from me about Reinhardt and his state in the meta. But in the end, we saw a lot of really good play out of Utah. They played the Zarya comp a little bit better than Boise State, and it really forced them to work their way around it.
You mentioned it, but yeah, the Zarya is really very good right now, and I would be remiss to not say that Strider has a very good Zarya as well. So that's something especially the team has been working on, just using those comps, because they do just operate and function a lot differently than the Wrecking Ball, because just the difference in mobility between those two characters is so crazy from the tank position that it's like your whole team almost has to play differently around it. But that's something. No Sam was really, really good on the Zarya, and so that's a possibility. Like, if currently, like, that's their composition that they want to run with, and it's stronger right now for whatever reason, could be an interesting game. Especially hit scan is a little bit better now than it was the last time they played, I would say, too.
Yeah, definitely, especially with all the buffs that came in the recent season change as well, especially to characters like Bastion being a lot better than they have been in the past. Also, I'd like to give No Sam a little bit of a shout-out, too, because he knows ball. He knows ball. He's pretty good at ball.
Yeah.
And he actually gave Strider quite a bit of a run for his money on this Flashpoint map. And this was actually the map that they won against Boise State. The Wrecking Ball was played very, very well on the side of No Sam. And overall, his team was able to support him as well. This was an incredibly close series, and I am fully anticipating it to be very close again, but maybe with one less loss on the side of Boise State.
I don't think it can be understated just as a whole how competitive the PEC is, specifically in Overwatch. Like, it seems like a lot of other games, maybe there's a clear top echelon, or like maybe it's half and half, like the top four really good, then the bottom four kind of can't punch up, can't break in. But I think for the most part in Overwatch, any of the top 6-7 teams, I think they have a chance to beat anyone on any night.
I would definitely agree. There is a very large chance for an upset in just about all of these games. I'd also like to point out, I would like to point out the fact that a lot of these teams are playing very similar compositions now. And back during the last season, we saw a lot of different play. We saw a lot of the Wrecking Ball. We saw a little bit of Winston, a little bit of Diva. We saw a little bit of everything. And now we're starting to come back to the one meta being super really good. We're starting to see Zarya a lot more in games. We're starting to see one composition take all, and it's Brawl. I mean, to be fair, Brawl is an incredibly fast and incredibly confusing, but when done right, in my opinion, it is the most fun to watch and to commentate.
I agree.
But that will be all for the sort of pre-show. We are going to take a small break, and then when we come back, we will be getting into the Nebraska game with Boise State to kick off Week 10 of the PEC. We will catch you guys after the break.
Since you guys have been in here, some things have changed. We've updated this place to be in its final form. New cabinets, new counters, all sorts of new stuff in here. This has turned into a place that wouldn't look out of place at an SEC or Big Ten football facility, and Dairy West has allowed us to have it here. We've taken a holistic approach to our player nutrition, and we're really thankful that Dairy West has made sure that our fueling station is the best in college esports and really at industry standard for any college athletic department.
My friends know me as Derek, but I'm also Master Sergeant Raxter. This is my life in the Air National Guard.
It's me, your Idaho Central Credit Union app. Rough morning. Is that a mobile deposit? I got this. Beat it, Charlie. We're making money moves here. Cha-ching. And done.
Charlie, come on, outside.
Sorry about the mess. I'd help if I had hands. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena as we are just about ready to kick off this game of Week 10 of the PEC. Overwatch, Boise State versus Nebraska, and from the sounds of things, we are going to be starting on Busan. A little bit of control point action to start the day off. I always love a good Busan map. Gardens, my favorite map in the game.
Busan, I think, is one of the most underrated maps in the game, at least in my opinion, because I think it has a lot more verticality than a lot of other maps, and I think that adds a fun element. Because I mean, if you think a lot of Overwatch maps, they're very not very flat, but like think of like Ilios or something, right? Like that one, like
yeah,
you know,
there's the ruins
like,
map that's relatively just like a straight line.
Sure,
from
but
end to end.
Busan, I mean, mecha base, the point is like way lower. I mean, pretty much every map has some interesting dynamic that is almost kind of unique to Busan. I think that makes it very fun.
Yeah, but you know what else is unique to Boise State? It's Doc's keys to the game. In Overwatch, never take a fair fight. Tank and DPS move together. Tempo wins maps, and make sure that you position your supports. All of this brought to you by Blue Ribbon Painting. Blue Ribbon Painting, with over 90 years of combined experience, they are ready to level up your home. Boise State, they are also proud to be Boise State's go-to team of local multi-generational painters who know exactly how to level up your home. Visit blueribbonpainting.com for more information.
Looks like we've got some new tips on there, like
Yeah.
tank and DPS move together, position your supports.
Very-
This is good stuff. I mean, if this is what we're teaching,
Very important stuff to know. And before we hop into this game, it'll be round one. But before we hop in, I'd like to make something known before I forget about it.
Okay.
Someone's birthday is today, and let's just say he knows ball. It's Strider's birthday today, so could we get a round of applause from everybody in the audience?
Yeah, yeah. Happy birthday, Strider.
What number is this one?
I don't know.
I don't think
he's too locked in.
He's not gonna.
Oh, he's 20.
Ooh, 20, the big 2-0. I turned that number recently myself, so I can say it feels good.
Oh, would you say, like, it feels so good that he might be like locked in?
He's locked
on
in.
a different level.
Yeah.
Today.
He's extra locked in.
That's extra motivation for sure. You don't want to lose on your birthday.
Yeah. Especially with this lovely crowd as well. But that's just more birthday energy. I mean, they know ball. He knows ball. We all know ball.
We do. Wonder if he'll bring it out, though. On this map specifically,
Yeah.
I think just generally a lot of Zarya on Busan.
That
just
is
a
true.
lot of it because of those choke points. Bubbles, of course, are so good because if you're spamming down a choke, you can just stand in the bubble, get free charge. Ultimate, the Graviton Surge, super good in those kind of situations. So
Yeah, you'd think tight hallways are really good for a giant wrecking ball, but unfortunately, this isn't Indiana Jones. It doesn't quite work out the same way you'd think it would in a lot of those movies. He does tend to struggle without the open maps. However, like you're talking about, Zarya not only having the bubbles, but also having that secondary fire that's a splashdown, and Maxwell is on the Bastion like I predicted. And we're seeing a very interesting comp out of Nebraska. Swimmer Dude jumping in on the Doomfist, getting a little bit of a slam into clear, but being shoved into the corner, trying to show off the Mythic skin, and he's going to get Maxwell with some help from Cool as Homie. Strider is going to take Jaxel down, but Lyric falls to the Ash as well.
Ash getting a lot of work, already 2 kills, support's down, but Strider now trading back, and the counter push is there. The back line left alone. Swimmer Dude tried to get around for a flank, but it ended up kind of leaving his team out as the point is now opening up.
Even when he isn't on Wrecking Ball, he still finds his way right into the back line. Just it's like a calling to him. It's like there's a voice behind him, like the Green Goblin mask, like, go into the back line. Go. Don't be a coward.
It's a good fight to win, given that Maxwell kind of died so quick off the Doom Pick.
Yeah, I would not have expected Doomfist to... I honestly thought that he would die during that exchange just with the turret form being able to put out so much damage, but Ash isn't going to get a ton of damage this time, as Ashley David's going to fall as well. Boise State taking out 2 incredibly early on in the fight, and Strider is just going to keep walking up. In fact, creative name. Very creative name indeed. And unfortunately for Swimmer Dude, he goes the wrong way. Your spawn room's behind you. This is the one time you don't push W.
Clear doesn't play a whole lot of Sojourn, also because I feel like when we play together, I'm always on Sojourn. It's my pick, but kind of reminding me that he's better than me at every character as he's moving up. Look at that blast. He has the railgun, but instead chooses to slide back. Look at that positioning, just great out of him.
Also, I want to point out Lyric on the Wu Yang. His special ability is the ability to curve his projectiles, and you're seeing that go to truly great effect as Daydream takes a kill on the Ash, and Bastion's artillery form is going to force him backwards.
Ashley David Suzu saved like
And Ashley David coming for the crown that Daydream has of the best DPS support and creative.
1 million damage incoming.
Unfortunately, 1 million damage in sacrifice of creative name on Diana, not being able to save their other support. Swimmer Dude diving in is actually going to get chunked down to half health before going right back in on the back line. But is going to be forced back, but huge Graviton Surge! That's a quad as Daydream goes down to Swimmer Dude's ult, but he isn't long for this world either. Boise State just ran circles around them, and that is going to be a first point win for Boise State.
That's
unless
what
this
we're talking about.
Pulls out some wild tech.
Touch can't even come through, and the point's gonna go over. And we had mentioned that, of course, as it's Strider. Good on the Zarya, and especially with these choke points. See it there, a 4-man Graviton Surge is the dagger for that point.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him earlier in the practice range. He was training on Pharahs. That Graviton Surge is a fairly hard thing to hit. He's hitting it on flying opponents as well. You gotta give him some credit there. That ability to get that Graviton Surge, arguably the most important space controlling ult that Boise State had in their roster, into a spot where it's going to find 4. And then obviously, Clear with the overclock definitely helped out as well.
If there's anything to kind of take from that, if you're Nebraska, though, they played that first fight really well. They got the quick pick on the Maxwell, and then they were going through. Ash got 2 more, and they still weren't able to get the fight, but it was a good look. Maybe they're going to be able to recreate something like that, but changed up a little bit. Almost every character different now for Nebraska.
Yeah, Nebraska switching back over to a Reaper composition that we saw quite a bit in the last semester of the PEC. A lot of the Reaper and Zarya. Jaxel on the Hanzo is a little bit different, but I can see where it might work. However, Strider is going to be breaking out the ball. The hamster is back, but it's not going to get on the Hanzo in time, as Clear is going to be the one to get his dome taken off.
That was a crazy shot, and once again, good first fight, but they've got to hold on. Strider making so much damage, and Daydream's going to get it back quickly.
There he goes, spin to win, and Jaxel is in the wrong place at the wrong time. Swimmer Dude trying to force Maxwell off the point. He's going to get him off, but it doesn't matter. Wrecking Ball is just going to stay there. Heel block, and Swimmer Dude is gone. He's swimming with the fishes, and now it is a lone Fury Chow. No, never mind. Clear is on the window.
Clear already to clean it up, and now has a chance to get a really creative position.
Oh,
who's he feeling like?
Just gets the kill out of nowhere.
He's
Man.
spinning around.
Okay, I would like to point out, Clear playing Sojourn, got sniped, and now is playing a counter sniper.
He's like, oh, that's what we want to do, huh?
I don't think it was an ego hit. I think it was more like, I am better than you, and I am going to show you why. As he is trying to find a good grapple kill.
Holding down a lot of space, though. Swimmer Dude, good kill. Flanks into the back line, but Clear. Body shot, lucky jump, maybe from Creative Name.
Oh,
He manages to turn it, though, for the time being.
Okay, Swimmer Dude back on the Doomfist. We saw it a little bit. I think that's the more comfortable character that he has. He looked good on the Zarya. They just had too much pressure, but Cool as Naomi just gets domed. Head taken off. It is nowhere to be found. Ashley David, the corpse on the floor. It is absolute carnage out here, as it is just Creative Name and Swimmer Dude. Clear came to play tonight.
Look at these ultimates. I mean, Boise State, they've got him locked practically into spawn, and out goes the Infrasight. Can't even walk out now without risk of getting immediately headshot. They're going to try and make some space, at least with the Doomfist here.
Yeah, trying to make a little space, but Boise State doesn't quite take the bait. Everybody's out, and there comes the minefield. On to Creative Name, and he slept. But he jumped into the mines. Wow. You're supposed to avoid those.
Perfect
Creative
cutoff.
Name. That's not how you win. With 83% and ticking, Boise State is looking to run away with this one.
I mean, the minefield was set up so perfectly. I mean, they had nowhere to go. They had to walk into the mines. They were spread out. They couldn't get back into spawn, and the sleep comes through. Swimmer Dude trying to touch.
He got clear.
It's clear, but I think it's just going to tick down as the ult can't even touch the point. Not 1% for Nebraska.
Not 1%. We were talking about it earlier. Nebraska is yet to win a map, and this first round is not going to be that one that ticks them up on the scoreboard. Boise State showing complete and utter dominance throughout the entire game. Play of the game will be going to Maxwell with his Lego Bastion skin. Actually, was it the grab? Because he no, it wasn't. Because mostly it was Clear with the grab.
Look at that aim.
Oh,
And
it was
the
Nano
too. He got 2 kills.
We'll
take it.
That was an incredibly good Nano, because he died right after using that onto the Bastion. But it just goes to show Boise State is still locked in, and this map really showed off one of their biggest strengths, and that is just getting a hand around your neck and not letting go.
I mean, I don't like agreeing with everything you say, but unfortunately you're just so valid sometimes that I have to absolutely agree, because that's a skill that is kind of underrated in Overwatch in general. Is getting a lead is cool, but snowballing that lead, keeping them locked in spawn, like, you're going to get all the ults, they're going to get nothing. Being able to push that lead, not let them get a single percent, and looking dominant on characters that sometimes they've been a little shaky on. The Zarya Bastion combination, it just looked oppressive this game.
Yeah, I would also like to point out the fact that there was only one ultimate that was used out of Nebraska that entire second round. That was the Doomfist ult.
To try and touch at the end.
That was it. I mean, it was partially because of all the character swaps. I mean, they went into it with a plan, the Zarya, the Reaper, and I liked that. I thought that was going to be a really good strategy, especially against the Wrecking Ball. But the swap to Doomfist, I feel like, wasn't the best play. Even if you're more comfortable on the Doomfist, I think it's a really hard thing to make work into a team that knows how to play around him very, very well. But you know what? We could never play without. That is right, our sponsor, the Idaho Air National Guard. What if you could pursue college or your dream career while serving your country and getting amazing benefits? The Idaho Air National Guard, just 1 weekend a month, 8 months out of the year. You'll get tuition assistance, signing bonuses, healthcare, zero-down home loans, and high-tech job training, all while keeping your civilian life, job, and goals right here in Idaho. Whether you're studying, working, or building your future, the Guard enhances it all while giving you leadership skills and lifelong connections. Ready to have it all? The Idaho Air National Guard is your pathway to education, career, success, and purpose.
Something I'd like to note is Doc's keys. They had mentioned specifically this time, keep tank and DPS together. And I think immediately you could kind of see almost the lack of that from the side of Nebraska, because I've been there myself in scrims games, like especially playing with the wrecking ball. It's just like that sometimes. It takes some time to get used to playing with it. But Swimmer Dude would be up there. He'd be getting stuff done, getting picks in the back line. But, I mean, it's difficult. If your back line can't keep themselves alive, it's cool that you get the Ana, but then what? You know, it might be better to go for a bit more of a kind of not congested, but like just a look where you're all a bit more together.
Yeah, and it's going to be very, very important to keep people together, as our next map is going to be Kings Row, Reinhardt's map, and with the Zarya and Farah banned, maybe we'll see the Reinhardt. I mean, Strider is fairly notorious for playing Wrecking Ball on this map, but I don't know. It would be kind of fun to see a little bit of Reinhardt. Big man with the funny hammer. Just putting it out there. If you guys wanna run the
keep
Reinhardt.
Ryan name dropping. You're not gonna give it up.
Hey,
give it up.
I'm manifesting. I want to see him because it's always fun to see big man with funny hammer. But going into round 2, I do agree with you a lot. Nebraska needs to figure out a way to keep themselves together, keep themselves good, and get picks. We saw 1 or 2 out of Swimmer Dude, especially on players like Clear and like Lyric, characters that are a little less mobile and are dive targets. However, I think Clear only died once off of Widowmaker when he was playing the Sojourn. I think Maxwell only died once that game as well.
Yeah, it sounds about right with my mental tracker, and I think something that's interesting, though, is Payload almost kind of forces you to be a bit more together. Obviously, you can kind of play the first capture point however you want, but once you've got the Payload, you kind of need to stand next to it to a certain extent, so it can kind of almost force you, but it's like they're rolling right back out on that Doomfist, so maybe a bit of adjustments made, but not
a few adjustments.
Yeah, I mean, you got May and Tracer. I mean, it's definitely different than we'd seen, and I think I like that more. It's got quite a bit more survivability, but I think what's important is keeping that Ana alive, because Ana is like kind of sticks out, at least with their team in terms of everyone else can kind of get away and live. So,
not to mention the fact that the Ana is a linchpin in keeping the Doomfist alive as well. In order to keep him alive,
setting up dives with the nade.
You got to set up dives with nade. You're able to heal from very, very far away. Kiriko's sort of able to do the same thing, but not to the same extent. Maxwell on the Widowmaker this time, looking to get something done, and thank you, Strider. Thank you so much.
Oh my goodness, of course.
I manifested it. I did it. It took me 6 months, but I manifested Reinhardt on Kings Row.
And then they go, teleporter.
Yeah, with the teleport up, Maxwell is now in a very good spot, and Clear is going to find an early pick on the sim, and in comes Strider. He's going to get slapped, but a Reinhardt in the backline is hard to deal with, and Creative Name takes the hammer. When you hold a hammer that big, everything looks like a nail as the rest of Nebraska falls. Strider is on a rampage.
Not only is he on the Rhine, but if you'll notice, that's high level as it is he charges past the team to get in and cut off the supports from the rest of the team. So the Doom is trying to fight. They're trying to fight on point, but they can't get heals because a giant Reinhardt is standing in their way, hitting them with a hammer.
You know, I'm glad that Boise State has taken a page out of the GOAT, LH Cloudy's book, the King of Reinhardt. I'm glad that they are reading his gospel as Jaxel gets taken out by Lyric. You don't see a May taken out by Lucio too often, as Swimmer Dude misses the punch and has to run away on just a sliver of health. The rest of Boise State now just taking their time. They can march up, and Clear is free to just beam away. That full level beam is being a very big pain in the back as Swimmer Dude is trying to get away.
Nebraska, they just can't seem to get a full fight with the whole team. Someone is always getting picked early, and it's unfortunate because Ashley David, that's now 2 like insane Susies I've seen from them. They're really feeling it, but still kind of unable to get something together as a team here.
Yeah, Clear going on a little bit of a flank with the teleporters, but that was on his head! Oh man, what was that? The artillery comes through, and with the perk, he's able to stay alive. Swimmer Dude effectively wastes his ult, but he's able to get Daydream in the process. Maxwell falls as well. Nebraska mounting quite the offense as Boise State is forced back. Maxwell falls, and Boise State needs to reconsider their fight. The teleporter comes through, the pin to check, but not going to see it.
Almost baiting that punch might be valuable though, but got another one quickly trying to hit it, but Strider walking in with the wall, so much room.
Oh, got the sleep out. That means you're pretty well free to use Shatter, but it's a... Oh, yeah. That anti-nade just came in at the very end to take down the Reinhardt. Shatter on the table. Daydream has to use the Immortality Field, but it does come back to bite Cool as Aomi for getting a little too greedy, as Clear is able to give him a little bop on the nose.
Something interesting about Bastion is he's almost Widowmaker kind of adjacent in that if you gotta recognize the space and you can't walk out, so it's difficult for Swimmer Dude to play, but he's still managing to get
Big Shatter! That's 2, but the Suzu comes in to save them! It doesn't matter though! The minigun
3
stops for no one. Big guns never tire, and Maxwell's gonna find 5! He's gonna find 5! That's a penta! As Maxwell rips and tears, it doesn't stop till it's done.
New Bastion, and it's new Maxwell. It looks like, of course, aim always so good, but able to stand behind the shield. I bet he's happy. I bet he probably wants Strider to play more Reinhardt himself.
Yeah, he's happier than a tornado in a trailer park right now. Out comes the, oh no, the Dragon Strike onto the high ground, but he lives! He gets pushed a little bit too far. The beat comes through to save the team, but Clear's going to fall to Swimmer Dude. The pin comes through, but the Nano on the Doomfist is going to negate a lot of the damage. However, and it's going to force Boise State to back out, but Lyric's going to find Koziomi. We're back up to even. So, the Kitsune Rush comes through. Out comes Artillery Barrage. It isn't going to find anything. No, it's not. But Creative Name is on 1 health. Forced to back out. He's able to get health back up as Lyric's going to fall to him in the process. Maxwell trying to find something. Clear is going to get creative. Swimmer Dude falling as well to the pin. And the rest of Nebraska, even while they're up, they have to push back.
It's so insane watching this perspective. Just the way that Maxwell's able to lock onto the heads. There's no bloom on the character Bastion. It's right where you aim, and it's right.
Oh,
it's the kills.
Oh, Ashley David, no! No, Suzu will help you there. Immediately gets sticky grenaded, then gets the pulse bomb as Boise State captures with 3:11 left in the time bank. They got plenty of time to sit back. They got enough time to make quite a few mistakes here.
3 minutes to me is definitely one of those cutoff points where it means you played pretty well, and it really was. Everyone on this team. I mean, shout out to Swimmer Dude though, of course, getting a lot of really good kills, but still.
That poor, I feel so bad for Ashley David. had to Swift step in and Suzu to keep their tank alive.
Immediately get
Swimmer Dude immediately dies, and then they get double stuck.
That's what you get for trying to be nice.
Yeah, that's what you get for trying to be a team
Clear's
player.
Not feeling nice today, clearly.
Yeah, I think the MVP is Clear, and it's Maxwell.
And everyone's working hard, doing well thus far. 3 minutes to work with, but Nebraska now on defense, I think they're going to have to play a little bit differently. Swimmer Dude, I mean, he's just not really going to be allowed to make as much space.
I think they're going to be playing a little bit better on the offense. I mean, Swimmer Dude on the Doomfist, he was looking okay.
Vendetta.
Oh,
I see it.
Vendetta's kind of more swingy now with all the nerfs that she got as well.
Yeah.
I mean, she's more middle of the pack, and it's where we want her to be. You don't want her to be super oppressive, but into a Doomfist, I'm really
interested to see it. Freya Vendetta.
Is that an Iyari?
Yeah.
That is an Iyari. Oh, Maxwell on the Freya.
Creative, but these are all fun characters, and now a change as well from the other side. Bastion's now on both, and it's going to be difficult to get space into the Sigma. Currently super strong right now. Clear has to kind of go in to make space, but Maxwell really doesn't. Can kind of sit back and just lay down artillery.
Yeah, he's just standing back there. He's having a grand old time. I mean, just look at him shooting over a Creative Name, and Naomi is also going to almost fall there. The Vendetta just able to make enough space for the Sigma. Sigma just plays a little bit behind, and they can't really get to Clear on the Vendetta.
The punch.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, and he can go, maybe getting out on the Bastion.
Oh!
The dive is coming through Clear. Low, and
but Swimmer Dude and Ashley David has to do the same thing. Oh no, we've seen this go bad.
Strider's kind of.
Oh no, Strider's in a bad spot, but he's able to get a ton of over health with the kinetic grasp. Cool as Aomi and Creative Name both falling, and Ashley David's going to meet their match as well. Swimmer Dude finally finding one, and Jaxel is not able to get anything out of the Sigma, and Swimmer Dude falls to Lyric.
Clear just dunked so hard on Ashley David. if you don't know, I guess this is the first PEC game with Vendetta, so she kind of works as she gets 3 hits, and the third one is kind of a powered-up overhead strike. She can kind of fly in the air, throw out her sword and fly to it. And that also gives an overhead strike, and then kind of a circular spin is good for mobility and damage, and then the ultimate is like a big line that you can charge up, a vertical line, and it'll pretty much insta-kill anything you hit with it.
Yeah, and especially with Strider's ultimate almost on lock, Max will go down
a rock.
Swimmer Dude, but he trades him out. If you're gonna trade for anything, trade for the tank. That was an amazing trade, especially with Captain Sun. The Suzu's going to save them though, as Clear dives a little bit too far. He's on 3, but he's not able to get out. But Strider, he said, "You kill my friend, now I kill you." And he gets 3, he got 2.
Always gotta get back for your homies. Strider is the one to do it this time, and I really like the Sigma pick, because Swimmer Dude is the one kind of causing the most value for Nebraska, and the rock, the accretion can totally like just cancel the Doomfist block, and it's helped so much just like that.
Yeah, not only that, but out comes the Kitsune Rush into the Gravitic Flux as well. And Maxwell's going to find one as well as Strider. Danger and Maxwell, though, both falling. Strider having to double back is able to get Swimmer Dude. We are currently even as Aomi finds Lyric as well. It's just Strider, and I believe it was Clear on the point.
Wow, that was a big fight. Ashley David used the Kitsune Rush for it, and Swimmer Dude now is back. The rock misses though. He might be able to get out now.
That's a good opportunity to really get something done, but Ashley David stranded without the swift step. Has to force the immortality field, but he jumps out of it. He just he committed Sudoku and unfortunately fell. And Creative Name falling victim to the blade that you were just alluding to earlier, as Clear continues to spin to win over the point.
Clear's playing very, very well. I mean, you're seeing it right there. What he tried to do is get to the high ground, and that's what the character does the most. The mobility is just insane. Also, I forgot to mention a block. If you right-click that block, 75% damage, and can also be a ranged attack like you just saw there. So, not a lot of people really know how to play against Vendetta right now, so if Clear is feeling it, it's the time to bring it out.
Yeah, I believe Vendetta is the first fully melee character. But Swimmer Dude got destroyed! Creative Name forced to come out! Ashley David goes down as well! And Clear and Strider are on a rampage! Team kill with 10 seconds left to go! I think it's safe to say, even if Nebraska gets the touch, it's just Swimmer Dude. It is not looking good for Nebraska, and Boise State is going to take game 2. Another incredibly dominant game with Ebola for good measure out of Maxwell.
Switching it up completely, just entirely different look, and same result pretty much. I was mentioning the Sigma, and I think it's just such a great pick. Strider loves to play Sigma, brings it out in the scrims all the time, and now gets to show its value into the Doomfist. Great play from him, and I like seeing the Vendetta out from Clear.
Yeah, honestly, for an introduction to Vendetta, that was a great game that showed off a lot of her kit, and I feel like Clear, as a pilot, did her a lot of justice, and I really hope we do get to see a little bit more Vendetta as the time goes on, and if it's anything like Freya was, I feel like we will. However, moving more towards the next game, we're moving on to what could be the final game of the series. Boise State currently on match point. Nebraska still really struggling to find their foothold. Swimmer Dude is trying his hardest, but he cannot get all the kills. He needs a little bit of help. It almost seems like they need to forego their like half and half strategy and go whole into one.
I think I could agree with that. Just in general, they haven't been as certain on their look either of what they want to run, and I think at some point you kind of got to pick something and stick with it, because clearly you haven't been able to change it up and find that thing that just pops out like, okay, like we got the comp, we start winning, this is good. Like, you're going to have to stick with something and maybe try and, like, sometimes it's, the characters can definitely be part of why you're losing, but sometimes it's how you're playing the characters as well, and just think they're not entirely on the same page all the time.
Yeah, they're playing a lot of like half and half brawl dive comp. You have the Ana and the Doomfist who work really well in dive, but then they have a core that's mostly brawly characters, and it really just kind of plays weird because Doomfist wants to jump in, get a kill, jump out. And Colosseo is going to be picked, and of course the ball is going to be banned. We were expecting this for the final map of the series, but Hanzo is going to be picked as a ban as well. Interesting pick out of, I believe that was Boise who picked them. So, I do like the ban of Ponzo on Coliseo, though.
If they want to bring out the Bastion again, I think Bastion would be amazing on this map. Coliseo, just in general, is a good Bastion map because, as I mentioned, Bastion doesn't have any sort of like movement inaccuracy, no bloom on his weapon, so the bullets go where you're pointing. And of course, on the larger maps, that's better because when things are far away, you can just beam. And of course, best aim in North America, so would love to do that.
Maybe we'll see a return of a strategy that Doc showcased last time during the Nebraska game with Doomfist. I mean, I was talking about Strider on Doomfist as quite the treat. And baby,
oh, I see a one-punch man running out right now.
And that is I see an Iari too, and I only know one person who plays Iari in this lobby.
You might have called it.
I think I did. I'm kind of on a hot streak tonight.
Yeah, I must say, watched enough PEC now. You've lived and breathed it. Can get your predictions going. Coliseo potentially the last map, or Nebraska could get their first map win.
Yeah, they got one more shot to do it against Boise State. Currently, if they get 1 point on the board, that would still be a win for them. But they need to figure out what they're doing wrong. They need to figure out how to improve on it. And I feel like if you're going to get a comeback, push is one of the best places to do it. You can snowball your lead so quickly in push that it makes it almost impossible to come back from, but that goes both ways as well. You get the initiative, you get the jump early, you can get in and win. However, you let that happen to you and say bye to a win this...
Diamond Dog's in on the signature Winston selection. Swimmer Dude kind of got inspired, and actually Jaxel is now the one playing tank. Swimmer Dude says, let me handle it on the Vendetta. I guess we'll have to see how this works out.
Yeah, however, Boise State is like, return to monkey, and now Winston is back on to creative name immediately, and what a biotic grenade out of Lyric from downtown.
So good, and also, I mean, it served to keep Diamond Dog alive, to keep going, and Swimmer Dude getting caught out. So far, Winston showing so much value, being able to split up the team, and Nebraska once again almost forced to play without each other, and they're all going to get cleaned up, and as you mentioned, starting to snowball a bit. That's a bad stat.
And I would like to point, Strider is on defense.
I didn't even notice. I was like, who's this Cassidy tearing it up? But
it's me. I'm playing from the desk. They let me on as a guest player. They had to nerf Diamond Dog, they had to nerf Daydream. They can't let her keep getting those 1 million damage point stat lines on League OS. But Diamond Dog going in for a little bit of a soft dive onto the front line. Not going to find a whole lot, but you don't really need to find a ton as Winston. You just stand there, and the Reaper falls to Winston. You don't see that too often.
Yeah, a little ambitious on the walk up, got taken down quickly, and all the while, Boise State have been moving the push boss the whole time. Now it's reached the forward checkpoint. So as you mentioned, the snowball, it's rolling down the hill, and it just keeps getting larger for the Cornhuskers.
Yeah, Strider going down to very, very low, but is able to get right back out. I mean, he's playing a character that is a whole lot less mobile than what he's used to. However, Clear...
Pulse bomb ready.
Yeah, Clear's got the pulse bomb. He's ready to go.
Here it comes. Probably trying to creep up the flank, but Strider just gets it instead.
Oh, there goes the Suzu. Oh, I thought that was pulse bomb material. Out comes the Kitsune Rush, and Kuazayomi is down. One more fight to go for Nebraska if they want to claw this one back.
Both support ults for Boise State used, so if there's a fight, Nebraska's going to win. It's probably going to be this one. Ashley David almost has the ultimate online. Death Blossom is almost there too, but Clear is going to look to get a big early, but
but the Zarya bubble!
Can't quite hit it.
Oh, what a bubble out of Jaxel, keeping Swimmer Dude up. But Kuazayomi goes down early.
Oh, he's only
no
hitting
Blossom, but down comes Swimmer Dude's ult. Creative name goes down as well. Diamond Dog on a roll. Jaxel going down, almost gone down, and he's not able to get the carry he needs. Down goes Jaxel, and ladies and gentlemen, I believe that's going to be your Derry West play of the game as we close out map 3. Refuel, reform, repeat. Visit terrywest.com for more information. The Death Blossom actually comes out, and it's not going to be over as soon as I thought it was. However, it's pretty well over for Nebraska unless they make a miracle run.
Have to fall back for now, but I mentioned the support ults, but they actually managed to hold on to both of them, so potentially could start things going the other way, but Boise State are going to want to take this fight as fast as possible. Clear just disrespecting the team going in like that. Kind of stuck though, no cooldown.
Sleep Dart is gone though.
Okay for him for now.
Oh no, Creative Name and Ashley David both go down to the flanking Cassidy of all things.
Oh, what a
Out goes the
sleep!
sleep, and it's going to take Swimmer Dude. Diamond Dog, return to Monkey. The strategy is working.
Wow. Clear
And-
gets it again.
Yeah. Jaxel is going to find 1, but unfortunately 5 is more kills than 1. So
Shots moving. Nano is available with the Graviton Surge if the Cornhuskers choose to use it. And I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't at this point, but Boise State, surely knowing about it, are going to probably play not super group, so Nebraska's going to have to earn it here.
yeah, Clear, the only one on the side of Boise State with an ultimate available. Actually, nope, scratch that. Lyric has his, and now comes Graviton Surge. It's going to find no one. Lyric with the nano boost onto Diamond Dog, trying to go through, but the hitter grenade almost kills. It doesn't though. The Winston is still alive, and a lot of resources were used in
what a
order to make it
sleep
so.
again.
And Swimmer Dude is not getting any value on the Cassidy Nano.
Strider in a kind of a sketchy position though, has to try maybe fall back. Swimmer Dude getting some work done now, but what a shot! And he lives! Deadeye!
Go. The Deadeye comes out, and who's he going to find? He gets cool!
Walks him down!
Oh, and rolls down Ashley David as well. And one more. It goes to Clear. And Boise State is going to take the game 3-0.
Well
It won't
done!
be. Nebraska remains winless for one more week. And Boise State is showing why they are where they are in the bracket.
Looking great, doing it on characters they don't normally bring out. Of course, as I say that, Clear's signature selection here, play of the game, but pretty much had it in control almost the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, all but that point at the end, and I say that it is a very snowbally game mode. However, that last point is really hard to cap. You're so close to defender spawn, they can get back out within 10 seconds. It's incredibly hard to cap that last point. If you're going to lose a fight, it's going to be there, and the way they recuperated from it and really came back to punch was how you want to take those fights.
The Broncos are in spring form now, and so far starting out strong. They're going to be looking to keep it going, though. We mentioned the Utah game, a couple more kind of, it seems like their opponents kind of scale up in wins, at least on paper, towards the end of the season, and so they're going to get a chance to kind of work things out in Nebraska, probably have a good amount of things to look back on after this and look to improve. Great game from Swimmer Dude, I must say.
Oh, yeah. I got to give
And
huge
Ashley
props to
David.
Swimmer Dude. And
Shout out Ashley David.
oh
Those
my
are some
goodness,
crazy
Ashley
Suzus.
David. That I feel bad. I feel so bad. There was some great Suzus out of him, but just getting focused down the entire game is a very hard thing to recover from. But when all is said and done, Swimmer Dude and Ashley, the backbones of the team, but it wasn't strong enough to withstand the hammer that is the Boise State offense. However, that is it for the game, but it is not it for the broadcast, as we are going to have an exclusive interview with one of the players afterwards. So don't go away just yet as we get ready for the interview. So we'll see you in just a bit.
Death Blossom is almost there too, but Clear is going to look to get
but the Zarya bubble!
can't quite hit it.
What a bubble out of Jaxel, keeping Swimmer Dude up. But Kuazomi goes down from Kuazomi. Strider is going to take Jaxel down, but Lyric falls to the ash as well.
Ash getting a lot of work already. 2 kill supports down, but Strider now trading back, and the counter push is there. The back line.
Swimmer Dude diving in is actually going to get chunked down to half health before going right back in on the back line. But is going to be forced back, but huge Graviton Surge! That's a quad as Daydream goes down to Swimmer Dude's ult.
Getting it immediately. Headshot. They're going to try and make some space, at least with the Doomfist here.
Yeah, trying to make a little space, but Boise State doesn't quite take the bait. Everybody's out, and there comes the minefield onto Creative Name, and he slept. But he jumped into the mine.
Strider in a kind of a sketchy position, though. Has to try and maybe fall back. Swimmer Dude getting some work done now, but what a shot! And he lives! Deadeye!
Go. The Deadeye comes out, and who's he going to find? He gets cool.
My friends know me as Garrett, but I'm also Master Sergeant Raxter. This is my life in the
Life happens. Lucky for you, ICCU has a new kind of checking account that comes with benefits that help you life better. Because being human is a full-time job.
It's me, your Idaho Central Credit Union app. Rough morning. Is that a mobile deposit? I got this. Beat it, Charlie. We're making money moves here. Cha-ching. And done.
Charlie, come on, outside.
Sorry about the mess. I'd help if I had hands. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
Since you guys have been in here, some things have changed. We've updated this place to be in its final form. New cabinets, new counters, all sorts of new stuff in here. This has turned into a place that wouldn't look out of place at an SEC or Big Ten football facility, and Dairy West has allowed us to have it here. We've taken a holistic approach to our player nutrition, and we're really thankful that Dairy West has made sure that our fueling station is the best in college esports and really at industry standard for any college athletic department.
Scott Matlock, underrated recruit, has built himself into one of the best defensive players in the Mountain West.
What would you do if you couldn't fail? Would you see every setback as a catalyst to keep going? This is the innovator's mindset, because innovation demands daring. Is finding thousands of ways that don't work, and the one that changes everything. It's when your unrelenting spirit sees the world's needs and says, I will create something better. So, what will you do? Will you let your genius run wild? Give yourself the space to be great. Set your sights on something even bigger, because we know changing the world doesn't happen by chance. It comes out of the blue.
It's your birthday today. It's your birthday today. Rock, roll, and celebrate. Celebrate, we lose control and you cut the cake. The night is yours. Destiny awaits. Oh, wait with me. Share toast with your closest mates. It's your birthday today. It's your birthday today. Grab your goodie bags. Open your gifts. Blow out your candles.
Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena, where I am joined by the birthday boy himself, Cannon, our local Strider, or also known as Strider, local tank connoisseur, and birthday boy. And after a very interesting game out of Boise State, we saw a lot of really good plays out of every member of Boise State tonight. No, I don't think we got quite as close to the 1.1 million damage out of Daydream, but they also had to nerf her by putting her on support the whole game, so it's difficult. Yeah. So just overall, what are your thoughts on the game? Just throw them out there.
I think that was a really fun game. Showcased some new strats we were cooking up in the off season. Just honestly so enjoyable. A lot of different comps, and Nebraska, we figured them out early, but I think it was still a fun game to watch.
Yeah, there were some really fun moments, especially on Kings Row. I feel like everybody played at their best there. I mean, I got the Reinhardt that I've been wishing for 6 months now, so I'm not that hard to please, but that is an easy way to do it. I will say there were some really good moments throughout the entire game, but you know what? We hope to make a really good moment for you right now, as we have a small gift for you.
A small gift?
Yeah.
I love gifts.
Yeah. It looks like a chocolate flavored gift.
Chocolate
We baked you a cake.
Holy cow. Holy cow.
Go on. So how's the cake? What kind of cake is that?
Could be vanilla. I'm not certain. That's a 10. Wow.
10 out of 10 cake?
Yeah, so many flavors coming through, I can't even name them.
10 out of 10 cake for a 10 out of 10 game.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, looking at today, we saw a lot of good plays, especially in games 1 and 2. I want to point out Clear with a little bit of what I think is a rage swap. Died one time on Hanzo and proceeded to hard focus Hanzo on Widowmaker for the entire rest of the round.
He was irritated when that happened. He got a little frustrated, but he came back stronger.
I can tell. Popped solo walls just to kill the Widowmaker. I mean, I cannot blame him. And then also this play right here. Ana just killing themselves.
I think it was easier that way. It was like some sort of honorable death.
Yeah, it's like I brought dishonor to the player base.
Seppuku.
Senpoku. It was a choice, to be sure, but a welcome one. And I do think that the Doomfist was an interesting choice out of Nebraska, but didn't quite work out.
It worked well. The Doomfist was applying a lot of pressure to our backline. It was challenging to play against.
Yeah.
He played well.
I will say, though, it didn't do a whole lot compared to the Reinhardt, who was playing even better dive than the Doomfist was. Oh, man. It was an entertaining game from start to end. It was well played from all sides. So, do you have any shout-outs before we end off the stream?
Shout out to my parents. I'm 20 now. They're the reason I'm here, so shout out to them. Fantastic game.
Heck yeah, and I really hope that this is a good sign for the rest of the season. Starting it off strong with a 3-0 undisputed win. But that is going to be all that we have out of Overwatch tonight. But make sure you tune in for the rest of the week, as tomorrow we have some Valorant coming up, still against Nebraska, and Super Smash Bros. To close out the week on Thursday. So make sure you guys tune into those as well, because the game should be just as fun over on those sides. But we will catch you guys later.